Let's be honest with ourselves. Over the past couple of years, McDonald's have released some pretty ordinary McDonald's Happy Meals toys. However, by mid-2023, things had started to change. McDonald's introduced Grimace's birthday game for the Game Boy Color and also the Game Boy Chicken Nugget. This toy was produced and released purely for the Chinese McDonald's market to celebrate Children's Day, and we were lucky enough to get our hands on one of these toys. The console arrived in its original box and factory sealed plastic. Upon opening the console, we noticed that it came with stickers to celebrate Children's Day. These can be applied to the console to customize it to a child's likings. Upon first inspection, the console appears to be made of a better quality plastic, and the finishes are not too bad for a McDonald's toy. To our surprise, the console already arrived with two AAA batteries. The console features 3 directional buttons on the left-hand side, with the top being the fast pull down. Then on the right, there's an audio on and off, a start button, and a pause button, as well as the button to flip the blocks located in the bottom right-hand corner of the console. The speaker appears to be a little underpowered and very crackly. However, that's expected for a $4 toy, produced for a Happy Meal in China. As a modder, we knew this was a perfect console to upgrade and couldn't resist the temptation to open it up. The first step in modding this console involves opening it up, so we removed the battery compartment as well as the 2 AAA batteries. Being a toy produced for McDonald's, the console's sealed using triangular shaped screws. However, these can be simply undone using a flathead screwdriver. After removing all the security screws, it appears that our console has also been glued together. After endless prying, we finally got the shell apart. What we're presented with is a basic brown PCB board. The rear of the console features a basic half-watt speaker similar to what was used in the Game & Watch series, as well as a 3-way switch. It's also interesting to note that this console was produced in February and it's a revision 5 PCB. So this leaves us baffled. Are there revisions 1 to 4 of this current game? To gain access to the front of the PCB, there are 6 Phillip head screws holding it in place. Once all the screws have been removed, we gently lift the PCB out of place, and what we're presented with are some basic electronics. The touchpads are similar to those that are found in the Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance consoles. The contact pads are made from transparent silicone and feel good quality. The ROM chips are hidden under electronics glue, while the LCD touchpads are located on each side of the board. The front half of the shell features plastic molded buttons, as well as the LCD screen and housing. While we had the shell undone, we had a thought. Is it possible to fit a DSi motherboard into the pre-existing shell? Well, let's find out. Possibly with a lot of trimming. However, a Raspberry Pi would definitely fit in this shell. In this instance, we're going to backlit the original LCD screen. So we decided to use the kit similar to the original backlit screen mod for the DMG console. The first part of the build process involves removing the original LCD screen from the shell. Enjoying this build? Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The next part of the build involves a lot of patience, where we slowly remove the polarized film from the back of the LCD screen. The next part of the process involves some care, as you don't want to scratch the LCD screen. Gently use an earbud cleaner and some electronics alcohol to remove any excess glue that still remains on the screen. It's then just a matter of measuring the size of the LCD screen opening between both rubber pads and trimming the LCD screen kit down to size. As the prefabricated backlit screen kit cannot be trimmed down excessively, you have to remove the center pin from the shell of the Game Boy, as well as trimming the bottom of the LCD housing. Once installed, it's just a matter of threading the cables through the PCB hole and screwing the PCB back in place. A resistor is recommended for this kit as it uses LED lighting. The ground wire can be soldered to any ground point on the PCB. In this instance, you can use the negative battery terminal or either side of the power switch. And for the positive terminal, to allow the LCD screen to turn on once the power button is pressed, the middle pin of the power button requires soldering to. We then use some Kapton tape to seal it to avoid any shorts. But we couldn't leave it like that, so we found a leftover battery from a Game Boy Advance SP and married it to a USB-C charging port. This involves soldering wires from the positive and negative terminals of the Game Boy Advance battery, then soldering it directly to the middle pins of the USB-C recharging module. The next part of the build involves desoldering the wires from the battery terminals to the corresponding positive and negative on the USB-C charging port. Then mounting the battery and charging module to the shell and filing out a neat hole to access the port. Finally, do a quick test of the USB-C port to ensure that it's charging correctly. The last couple of mods are optional, however we recommend them just to add that special bling. We added an LED wire to the inside of the shell. LED lighting is always a favourite when modding a console. While we were there, we also removed the 1/4 watt speaker and replaced it with a 1 watt speaker from a DSi console. This immediately removed the crackle from the original speaker and amplified the sound. Just like an automotive sleeper, this console looks like it's standard from the outside. However, we've added a few special touches. First, we replaced the 1/4 watt speaker with a 1 watt speaker from a Nintendo DSi unit. This immediately removed the crackle from the sound and amplified it. We then added a battery from a Game Boy Advance SP and married it to a USB-C charging port. But we didn't stop there. We also added blue LED lighting to give it that special effect. And to ensure this console was playable, and to bring it to the 21st century, we backlit the screen. We used a kit originally intended for the DMG Game Boy, then trimmed it down to ensure it fit within this console. The only special touches left to ensure that this console is custom is to add the stickers that came with the original kit. Hopefully this video has inspired you and given you the confidence to mod your own McDonald's Chicken Nugget Game Boy. Hopefully, this console will be distributed in Happy Meals worldwide for more people to enjoy. Until then, don't forget to check out our other videos and stay tuned for more crazy mods coming soon.